What's up, y'all? This your girl, Erica Willa, E-Weezy, whatever you want to call it. I'm with my girl, JT. Hey, we got a special guest, man. I like to call her CP, but that's my girl, Cheyenne Parker.
Atlanta, Cheyenne Parker going at Brianna Jones and gets the bucket. Cheyenne Parker for the triple. The double team, triple team, whatever you want to call it. Can't stop Parker tonight.
Talk to me, baby. I appreciate you for being here, man.
Yes. You know, it's a little late, but we here.
No, we gonna get into some stuff, man. Just really try to highlight you and, you know, make you talk a little bit. We need you to talk a little bit.
Okay.
That's all. So, you know, most people may not know where you're from, but grew up from Queens, and then you moved to North Carolina. Ooh, that's a big difference. Queens and North Carolina? You moved to North Carolina and then you end up attending High Point University, like staying home. So like, how was that not to stay home rather than going to another college from a city you're not familiar with?
Well, I had a rocky high school basketball debut, just not focused. Moving from there and coming down south. I actually moved to Georgia first for 2 years, then to North Carolina. And both places was very similar, like very country, just very like different from New York.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to adjust. And so I struggled. I didn't play a full year in high school. I never played a full year.
Wait, I didn't know that. When
high
you
school
set out,
basketball.
what year you set out in high school?
Set out every year.
Wait.
Eligible.
Hold on.
I
Wait,
would play
you
half
set
the
out.
season. So my freshman year came, moved here. My freshman year came. I failed. After the first semester, I failed too many classes, so I couldn't play the rest of the semester. So I didn't finish my
You
freshman
just
year.
stopped going to class though?
No, I went to class, but I wasn't
focused?
my grades. I wasn't focused. I was very distracted.
Wait, Cheyenne.
I know.
So how did you get to college?
So after I left Georgia, I moved to North Carolina.
Mhm.
That was probably the best thing my mom could have did, because Georgia was wild.
It was wild.
I kept getting in trouble. I got kicked out. That's
Wait,
why I didn't play my
CP,
I got kicked out of high
CP,
school.
you the sweetest, one of the sweetest people I know. You got kicked out?
But one thing I don't do, I don't play. I may be sweet, but I don't play.
You don't play?
You
Hey,
know
wait,
we played
CP,
Come on.
I did my research, but like, this is stuff that you can't get unless we ask you.
Yeah, facts.
Wait, so you got kicked out.
I got kicked out. My
Wait, no,
freshman,
not
my
kicked out.
freshman year.
You didn't make good enough grades, so you failed. You couldn't play basketball. You got kicked out.
Yep. So
You
I didn't
moved
play
to
the first half of my sophomore year, but then I got to go back to school, and then I finished that season, and then I moved. And when I moved, that's when like things changed for me, as far as like the coach telling me like, hey, you know, you're 6'3". I was like 6'3". You know, you can play college ball. I'm like word, like for free?
Same, that's the same.
I
That's
was
how
like,
I was.
I can? Like, so I was like, okay. So I had to do summer school. I had to do like after school class, school, and to like make up for what I did here in Georgia. And I was able to graduate in time, and that's how I.
CP, listen y'all. CP is one of the sweetest people I know. Kicked out is crazy.
They were strict down here though.
They were
One
strict?
fight and I was done. They kicked
One
me
fight?
out. One fight.
And you weren't going, like you said, don't
No.
try you. You weren't going.
So you told their ass up there.
You know I did. I was 6'2".
Hey, you gotta get into it.
So
Rocky start there, Middle Tennessee, and then you got drafted 2015. Top 5 pick, number 5. Wait, hold on. Time, that's storyline.
Cause how the F? That's how you can ask that.
CP failed, had to move, got kicked out. With the university?
I went to High Point.
High
and then I
Point,
transferred
Middle
to
Tennessee, and then you go top 5 pick? Don't ever say you can't do nothing.
Real talk. Cause
Hold on, let's get into it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, JT. I don't interrupt your whole.
First of all, the journey to MTSU, I was at High Point. The school is small. It's a small D1. So I was like, all right, I want to play pro. I need to go somewhere I can try to get more like NCAA attention, play those better teams. So I went on a few visits and stuff, and MTSU, the reason why I ended up choosing them was because the coach really sold me on, we win every year, we win a championship, and we go to the national tournament.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted. I wanted to go to the NCAA.
You want to go to the dance?
I wanted to go dance. Ended up not being able to go dance because I couldn't stay focused and got caught up, failed my drug test, got kicked off the team. 5 games before my senior season ended.
CP.
So that is the cherry on top of that story. I still got drafted. Pokey Chapman. Still was
Pokey.
like,
Hey, shout out to Pokey.
Shout out to Pokey.
Hey,
dog.
shout out to
Shout
Pokey.
out to Pokey.
Hey,
Shout out to Pokey.
hey, Pokey made me an all-star. Shout out to Pokey, man.
Yeah, man.
Wait.
She believed in me. She took that chance on me. That's what the headline read. Chicago Sky takes chance on Parker.
CP, that's one hell of a story, man.
10 years later, still in the league.
That's one hell of a story, CP, because at the end of the day, like, so many people could have just stopped at a certain point, but you kept going, although you was the cause of the things that was happening. It wasn't like nobody didn't cause it, you caused it.
Yep.
But
Bad decisions, bad choices.
for a younger you, your mom, you accomplished in so many ways. What would you tell a younger you in those moments? It can be quick. It
That's
can
a
be
good
so
one.
cute.
I've been asked that before, what I tell my younger self, especially in those times. Like, I wish I had a mentor like me at those times. That's why I always go and talk to that age group, 14, 13, 15, because it's such a rough time for young ladies, especially a young lady like myself. I was big, and I had a brother that was 16 months older than me, and he called me names every day. He made me feel bad about myself. So it just like was constant, just insecurity, not sure about who I was, what I wanted in life, didn't have a purpose. What I would tell myself would be to just stay focused.
Right.
Because like that's one thing I never did.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't have that guidance, like that 2-parent household, just to like keep me focused, keep me disciplined, learning what discipline is. I had to learn myself once I got to the league.
Right. So it's easy to say stay focused. Like, we can just put the words and stay focused. What does staying focused look like for you? If you had to tell a kid that's 14, 15 years old, because that's that transition stage where you come out of middle school, going to high school, you think you don't want to do kiddie stuff no more. So what's that transition of staying focused for this younger generation?
I would say like whatever it is that, like for me, it was basketball that that was my extracurricular thing. It would just be stay focused on your extracurricular thing. Don't let, outside distractions, things, at that age, everything else is so important, literally. And I just didn't have, like I said, no type of mentorship or guidance to just let me know, nah, that's gonna be there. All that stuff is gonna be there. Like, stay focused on what you got going on, which at that time for me was basketball.
So you would say that for those kids that's 12 to 15 years old, it's okay to have a mentor, it's okay to have a big brother, a big sister.
It's like almost vital to have that.
Like, you need that.
You do.
So it's okay when your big brother or your big sister telling you, do what you need to do, and it's not to take anything away from you. So you would say that's okay.
Yes.
Because this generation different. When you start telling them what to do, they don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I heard CP. CP done went through everything above the sun and under it. Listen to the folks that care about you, that want the best for you. Listen to them, because CP just said it. She wished she had that. So Pokey took that chance on you, going through hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. You got drafted. Did y'all have a conversation? Because I'm pretty sure she knew the background somewhat. What was that?
They put that in the news down there in Tennessee. That was the biggest news of the month. They made it, kind of a skeptical, and it was really hard to get through that situation, because it's like I had to break it to my parents. It was just almost made it to the end, and I get kicked off my team. It was rough. But at that time, I had a lot of coaches calling me, because the draft was literally a month later. And so I talked to a few. I talked to Bill. I talked to Stephanie. I went to the combine in Florida.
Yeah.
I had to do that combine.
Yeah,
that
you
helped.
had to.
Yep, that's where Pokey first really locked in on me. And she called me, and she had me come to Chicago before the draft. And I met her and the owner and talked to them, and she just off rip, she just knew my character and my spirit. She could just tell oh, you're not a bad kid.
Right. You just need guidance.
You need to learn what being a pro looks like, and she was patient with me, because I had to learn. I had to learn.
Hey, but I tell people all the time, because I'm from the hood, you know what I mean? Half the time, that's where the most talent is. kids that come from less poverty, that don't really have that guidance, but have all the talent in the world, but they don't have the guidance to keep a straight, narrow path to be successful.
Yeah.
But got all the talent, can just do unnatural shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what Pokey saw in you.
Yeah.
And like, shout out to Pokey. Pokey is a gem. Like, no, seriously, Pokey's a gem. She will pull things out of you and say things to you to get things out of you. So going back to Chicago, having Pokey and being able to have that person that believe in you and almost kind of taking you up under her wing. Like, speak on how important was that for you, being that everything that you've done to get to that point is almost like it don't even mean nothing anymore. This is a whole new chapter. Is now how I can make these next couple of steps count.
It was just really like, I was kind of on like eggshells. Just wanted to make sure I was doing everything
I love that for you.
I was supposed to do. Literally,
I love that.
I was fasting from like literally, because you know at that time, 2015, they still was fasting
Yeah.
So I was like
nothing.
Like I was locked in, and I just stayed in the gym because like as a rookie, like I didn't get too much playing time. I didn't take it personal, but it still hurt my feelings. Like I was
As a competitor.
Yeah, as a
You know what I mean?
competitor coming out of college as a whooper, like
Everybody the one that
coming
get
out,
drafted.
right? So it was an adjustment sitting on the bench. But one thing I appreciate that she used to always talk to me and just tell me to trust the process, stay ready. And sometimes I'll be frustrated with her. Like to this day, I look back like, damn, I used to be so mad at Pokey, but like
It makes sense now.
what?
Yeah.
In more ways than I can even imagine. Like even when I talk to my rookies now, I'm like, trust the process, baby girl.
Right. But speak on that. We're gonna speak on that because I think people get this whole perception is if you get drafted, you automatically get a certain type of respect. No, you almost start over.
Especially if you ain't name brand.
Listen, or if you ain't going to
If
a
you ain't coming
franchise
from
that
a
really
UConn
needs
or,
you.
Yeah, or that.
But speak
Or
on that
that.
because I think people kind of, mix the two of like, oh, I was averaging this, I was player of the year, this and that, whatever the awards is. Speak on how like when you get to the WNBA, in certain moments, like if you not that number 1 or 2 pick, or even still, if you that number 1 or 2 pick, if you don't come in with a big impact, you really start all over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Speak on that because like you said, you was at the peak of your career, you was doing everything you need to do to go and just not playing at all, like not getting no minutes.
It was, it's important to, like I said, those first 2 years was rough, but one thing I did continue to do was work. Like when I say
work. My girl was in the gym.
in
Keep
that
working.
like in there, like that was the only thing that mattered was just staying in the gym so that when my name was called, I was ready.
Yeah.
And that's basically how it happened. Like that second year, Olympics came. Della Dawn was out of there.
Yeah.
Erica de Sosa was out of there. Clarissa was out of there. So guess what? It was wide open. I got to start. Like I got all these minutes. It got me on my first double, and it was just like that was my moment. Like okay, like but you have to really go through that process, like to get that moment. It's hard. It's not easy to go through it.
Man, but to say about the process, right? Because most people just want to walk in the door and just have it. So I tell people all the time from my journey, my journey, we're going to talk about my journey another way. But I tell people all the time, I never take this for granted because the doors I had to climb into, the windows I had to break through to get to where I'm at versus somebody just giving it to me and me just, just going. So like you said, the process, trust the process. Your first 2 years, you couldn't really do much. And then when the opportunity came, you was like, I ain't f***ing this up because of what you done, when you was in high school, you done f***ed up. But now you in a moment where you got somebody that believe in you, you got a mentor that's kind of helping you and coaching you through things. I know you already said, well, when I get my opportunity, well, I'm gonna f*** y'all up on everything I love.
Couldn't wait.
And what you do?
Couldn't wait.
You know what I mean?
Tore it up, and I couldn't wait. And it's a good feeling. Like it's that satisfaction. Like all them days, them nights crying after the game. She didn't even play me. Venting to my bed or my mom or something. Like all those, like it all builds that character that you need when it's time to show it down. You know what I'm saying?
Into it.
Yeah, like no, like I earned it. I earned every single moment I have on this court.
I love that. So you did what, about 6 years in Chicago?
6, yep.
And then you came to the dream. And like you said, like those moments that worked up, you done been an all-star. Like, How was that feeling? Like like you just said, you know, all them crying nights, like, damn.
Super emotional. Yeah, super,
Like, how
super
was that?
emotional. Super emotional feeling. Like, I never forget, we was finishing practice and they put a little video of Kevin and my man and my daughter, and I about
Broke down.
tore it up, man. I couldn't even control it. Like, just because, you know, you think about even the prior after having a baby and like going through that process of getting back, like that is tough. Yeah. So it was just a very like surreal moment. Like, this is what you work for. You work for that moment, you know, your whole like playing ball, your whole life. You like,
You get it.
I tell people all the time, man, to be able to have a kid and then go and play basketball right after, like, that is hard. I don't know what it's like. I never had no kids, but I have 2 sisters, and one of my sisters had a baby, and I know how hard it was for her. As a normal person, you're a whole pro athlete that gotta get moving. Because if you don't, you're gonna get left behind. So let's talk about motherhood. What is that balance like of being able to, when you did have Naomi, working your way back? That was the year that I played with you, and then the next year you become an all-star. Tell me what that balance is like.
it's a learning process. It's a journey right along with her. Like, I'm 2.5 years in as a mom now, and like that year you was there, like you was making jokes about me being late, but that was like really me like figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like how to manage my time now, because before it was just me.
Yeah.
Literally, like I could get up, go, but now it's like I gotta get up. Okay, what baby need? What she need? I gotta always make sure she good, then go. Like, so it's just learning how to balance and how to maintain and manage my time, and like I had to learn more organization. Like, it's a whole new
world.
Like, it's like a whole new world, being a mom and a pro. So just getting the reins around that. Thankful to have a community.
Yeah.
If it weren't for a community, I don't think I would be able to play. Just the type of mom I am, like I'm not leaving my baby with anybody.
Yeah, I hear that.
So if I didn't have them, I would have had to just retire. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just thankful to have a community that I can trust and truly loves my daughter to make sure she's good when I'm not around.
Right.
And that helps me, like, with just staying focused and being able to focus on making sure I'm in shape, keeping my body right, eating right, like all the things necessary to stay a professional.
Like, other than like the physical and stuff like that, mentally, I know it takes a toll, and dealing with like postpartum and stuff like that. Like, that's tough.
Talk about it.
You an athlete, you want to be a great mom at home, but then you also have to come out and you have to perform at a high level. And a lot of people may not understand, like, damn, I got to go home, I got a kid, I got to make sure she's straight. I may be toe up or whatever inside, but I still got to show up for my baby though.
Yeah.
So like, how did you deal with that?
I mean, I had a lot of rough days. Like, it was definitely not picture perfect. You know, a lot of times people can put on a facade as easy as not.
Yeah.
You know, it's days where it's really, really tough. Especially if, like, on the basketball side it's going bad. Like, you know.
Listen, when that basketball ain't going good, ain't nothing going good.
And I think this past season was my first time really, really feeling that. And like, I had a lot of guilt trips because like it would be after the game, I would be like such a shitty mood that I'm coming home and it's like projecting, and I'm like, damn, I don't want my baby to see me like looking like this.
Right.
So I had to like start talking to somebody to kind of help me with just like managing my emotions. You know, just dealing with work, like basketball. It's life, so it can be like, it can kind of consume you, and that's one thing I'm not trying to sacrifice my attention for my daughter or just my presence, like being there, but really being there, like it's a difference. So just balancing that, it's hard.
I do want to ask you something, because I think we kind of skipped past. I do want to ask you about this season. We ain't got to dive too deep in it. No, we got to talk about it.
It's okay. It sucks.
We got to talk about it because you go from last year being an all-star, then coming to 2024 season, and started playing well, minutes get cut, then you have a season-ending injury, like that can do a lot to the mental within itself because from what I know, being an all-star and then not being able to play from COVID, it does something to you because you want to prove that you is that all-star that you prove yourself to the world to be.
Yes.
So I just want to touch on that a little bit. I'm not going to be too in depth, but again, one all-star starting well, minutes get cut, then season-ending injury. I talk about that.
Yeah, I'm still, dealing with my injury and recovering, making sure, got to be ready by the 18th. Yeah. So I think this season, like I said, this was a very testing season.
What was testing about it?
Because like you said, I was coming in with this mentality, like just hungry, man. Like I wanted to just, be better. I wanted to be better. Like my mindset is always be better than the season before. So when it started, like that was my mentality. I was honest in my exit meeting with them. I feel like this season I had to chalk up because from the beginning, it just didn't go my way.
Right.
Like Tanisha started me at the 4. Mm-hmm. We got Tina at the 5. That's cool. But in her offense, I'm a 5.
Right.
She want me in a dunker. I've been playing in the dunker the whole, you know what I'm saying? Like her system.
But what makes you an all-star?
Playing in the dunker.
So to that point is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But that's how we started off with Tina at the 5 and me at the 4. And then like she, wanted to have a private conversation and asked me if I'm okay with coming off the bench at the 5. I said, whatever you want to do, Tanisha. Like I'm always, you know me, I'm always going to be a team player. Yeah. Like regardless, like I'm getting the same check every month. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't change anything. Obviously the competitor in me, I'm like, I want my starting spot, but if that's what you think is going, and so I just tried to do what was being asked.
Did you ask, why are you coming off the bench? Why is that even a consideration after being an all-star?
The reason was she felt like I was gonna be like that spark off the bench. She wanted more production off the bench because it wasn't none.
Yes.
So I said no problem.
No problem.
Yeah. And I have agreed with it, but like I said, nothing was really going my way anyway. Right. And I think part of that was I was overthinking playing the 4. Like, and every shot I took, you know me, I'm stroking the 3. I'm going to shoot it. But every shot I took, I hear Barb in the back. Don't shoot that shit. You a 37%. Like just a lot of, so it just led me to like kind of get into my own head, lose my confidence. And it was a wrap at that point. I just and it was like, it was meant to be though. Like even when I hurt my ankle, like I got in the game, 24 seconds in the game.
24 seconds? Damn.
24 seconds I played and that happened.
So me hearing the story of like everything that happened from being an all-star, I see your minutes getting cut. I know what you do as a player because I played with you, and then you get hurt. God is trying to tell you something. For me, I can have my own opinion about it, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't know. You know what I mean? Like my best friend can't keep telling me the same thing if I don't believe in myself. Right. But she ain't even got to do that because she already know my head bigger than the mother. Hey, I'm one of them ones. I don't care about none of that. Hey, I'm one of them ones. That's why I'm still here. Sure. You know what I mean? So I hope that whatever that message is, you received it in a way that you take CP to a whole other level. CPT, because she's married, y'all. Don't play with it. Put
T.
CPT. So we got a little easy 5 questions before you get up out of here.
All right.
Easy 5. Listen, it's coming off the dome. First thing that comes to your head. First thing that comes to your head, CP. And don't take 30 days because I know how you think.
Oh, gosh.
All right, here we go.
Right.
Better pizza. New York, Chicago.
New York.
Favorite player growing up?
Candace Parker.
Ooh. Solid. Shout out to CP.
Right.
Favorite road city to play in?
New York. Yeah, probably New York.
No, you can't use New York
Chicago.
because you're from
Chicago then.
Chicago?
Yeah.
You can't use Chicago or New York because you're from Chicago. You're from New York and you played for Chicago.
Okay, then after that, probably Seattle.
Seattle?
Yeah,
Right,
it's
Seattle's
beautiful. It's beautiful, yeah.
Favorite shoes to hoop in?
I used to like them older, them PGs. They don't even make them
With
no more.
the,
The orange ones, the real bright orange.
The one with,
Back
the,
in
with,
20.
the, with the strap across it, but it kind of
No, before those.
the very first ones.
Yeah.
Because them was the tools, I think.
And they don't make them no more.
Yeah,
But those was my
yeah.
favorites. Now I'm wearing I'm wearing those.
You wear AEs?
Yeah, I like
hey,
those.
Shout out to AE.
No,
hey,
not
shout out to you, A.
The high tops.
The
The
high
high tops.
You want the high top one?
Yeah, dog.
Hey, shout out to my boy.
I can't hoop in
Ed. Y'all know I'm not playing by
Facts.
Anthony Edwards. I'm repping my boy
yeah,
hard.
I rock with
I'm
him.
not playing
I
by
rock
my
with
boy.
him too, yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to you, AE.
Facts.
All right, game on the line.
Okay.
Go to move. We already know what side you're going to.
Right.
Go to move, game on the line.
I don't know if I feel like I shouldn't tell that.
Game,
All right, I'm gonna tell.
They don't mean that. They still ain't gonna be right.
The snap back left.
Yeah.
Dribble right, snap back left.
But CP, you don't want to tell them that when nobody has stopped it yet.
You right?
Come on, like it don't matter. That's just like if we watch
don't matter.
film, we all watch film.
We
know
already
your
know
moves.
what's about to happen.
Like
Yeah, that's the
it's
go-to
gonna
right
go
there.
down. Hey, CP, shout out to you, man, for coming through the chat with me and JT on
Thank
Easy
y'all for
Buckets.
having me.
Pleasure having you. Shout out to my girl CP. We gonna wrap it up. Appreciate y'all.